Well, many of you waking up taking those Easter pictures this morning. And our next guest is here to show us some great tips and some simple tips for your families to take those best photos on this Easter. Mike Sweetwood, the president of Unique Photos, joins us now, and I stole your camera. What camera is this?
This is a Sony A6000. Hey, good morning. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you as well.
It's a camera just out today. You can get it at Unique Photo. It's the fastest autofocusing camera around right now.
That is amazing. And Sony doing some incredible things in the digital space right now. Big fan of those. Okay, so if you don't have a Sony camera and you just have a simple camera, there are some simple things you can do to make your photos better. So let's start with what not to do, and here's what not to do.
Right, it's Easter. You know that you're going to take a family portrait. Why take a selfie?
Right.
So you can see, you know, she's holding a camera up high, she's holding her cell phone up high, he's out of focus, everybody's squeezed in, the hands are cut off, their expressions are kind of unnatural, when you can do a lot better than that.
Okay, and how can you do better? Well, number one, you might not have someone floating around to be able to grab a camera for you, but you could even do a little timer mode on one of your cameras with a simple tripod.
Absolutely.
Too.
Or just rest it on something that you have lying around. Tripod is great, but anything that you can rest the camera on and use the timer.
One of the things I notice that people do a lot too is they take photos of their kids from up above.
Correct.
And of course you want to take photos at eye level of your kids, and that's what they've done here.
That's right, and you can see all the eyes, and you had time to compose the expressions, so they look a little bit more natural. A picture you want to remember.
You will be shocked at how much better your photos will look if you just get down to a child's level and take their photos. Okay, speaking of kids, this photo not necessarily so great. You know, on first blush you say that looks kind of fun because but it's so gaudy, right?
That's right. If you're going to do a theme, certainly I would say more is not better. That you want the child to be the focus of the picture, so there's too many things going on in there. Your eye doesn't even know where to go in the picture. You want the child to be the part of the memory, and so you want to do something that's more natural. And you can see in the better picture, we've actually focused in on the child. The child's doing something that she would normally do. And as a result, she has a more normal smile.
And you've even done like a shallow depth of field here, so these eggs are even out of focus.
Yeah, in the past we've shown, defocusing the background, but in this case, we're actually showing defocusing the foreground, which you can do with a camera like this, not with a smartphone.
That's right, with the proper lens on that too. Okay, over here, this looks like a nice photo, but it's kind of not that exciting.
Right, okay, so let's say you go to church on Sunday and you get out there and you say, okay, we're going to take a family picture. Everybody does that, but what happens with that picture is that it's not really natural. It's not a memory. And it's hard to figure out what to do. Too much grass. And here's something that happens you wouldn't realize, even looking in the viewfinder of the camera, is the railing or part of the house is coming out of her head.
Right. And I always think of that in these types of photos, the ugly or the weakest part of the photo is where your eye is going to go.
That's correct. Your eye goes right down there. And whose hands is whose? Their hands are all interchanged.
So here we have some movement. We have the dog. And you actually have a sport mode in a lot of these cameras.
Right. And if on this camera, it's a 24 megapixel camera, but shoots, I think, 12 frames a second, but unlimited.
Yeah, listen to that. Fire it up.
So you can shoot, right?
Yeah, listen to how fast that goes.
It'll just keep shooting.
You put it into sport mode, and you can get that dog, so it's not
you can
blurry.
stand back and shoot, and you'll surely, out of one of the numerous pictures that it takes, you'll actually get that shot. And that's more interesting, right? It says motion. It says what you're doing.
Just some little tips that you can do.
This camera's available today, too. You can buy it. It's just out today.
Oh, wonderful. I'm going to have to test that out. I'll see if I can borrow yours if you make it out of the studio with it. All right, thanks, Matt. Matt Sweetwood. Check him out at Unique Photo in New Jersey. Thanks so much.